Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for coming to our pitch event. Today is, I believe, number 47. So we are very close to reach our 50, which means having brought at least 200 founders live to pitch their great idea and their great vision. So today we have another five great founders, and we also have our investor guest. So, as you can see here, you meet our great founders. But before moving to the founders, I would like to go through our guest investor today, Tunya Irkad. Venture capitalist. Tunya is a VC at 500 Magic Europe, committed to backing early stage startup and founders from the European Union, community, and Turkey to become global powerhouse. Thank you for coming, Tunya. Please, if you want to give a short introduction to yourself. I think Tunya at the moment is frozen. So while we wait for Tunya, let me start presenting our funders. Okay, here we are. Tunya, welcome.
Yeah,
If you want
sorry,
to give a
my
short
internet connection was bad. No,
no
sorry.
problem. Please give an introduction to yourself so after we can move to our funders. Thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Tunya. I am from 500 Emerging Europe. We are deploying a 70 million euros vehicle to invest in early stage companies emerging from Central Eastern Europe and Turkey. We have been deploying this fund since the beginning of 2021, and so far we have invested in over 20 companies. We're an industry agnostic fund, so there is no industry or vertical focus, but you'll see in our portfolio that we've majorly invested in B2B SaaS companies and especially dev tools, AML companies. But you'll also see fintechs, gaming companies, niche marketplaces. So you'll see that we are industry agnostic as well. My name is Tunya. I am from the investment team of 500 Emerging Europe. I am at the moment in Hungary. We are covering this country as well. Originally, our team is based in Istanbul. We are covering Central Eastern Europe and Turkey. So I guess that's it from my side. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Tunya. So as Pasquale is already here because Pasquale is the first founder coming to pitch. Pasquale Bombino, founder and CEO of EO, Milan, Italy. IT service seed around 1.5 million in euro. Thank you so much, Pasquale. Please unmute yourself, and if you want to give an introduction.
Sure. Okay. Thanks to everybody, and nice to meet you all. I'm Pasquale Bombino, co-founder and CEO of EO. Previously, I spent almost 34 years in the business. I was entrepreneur, and then I became executive corporate guys, working in different domain and markets. 1 year ago, I decided to jump again into the entrepreneur journey, and then I decided together with Evento Studio to build EO, this new startup that I'm going to talk about, and is representing the new frontier of customer experience management platform. So, EO, we help business to listen customer needs thanks to our voice conversation capability, and thanks to our customer experience platform. The customer experience is one of the key elements. Every corporate is investing a huge amount of effort and time and also budget. Nevertheless, 80% of the customers are not satisfied. They want personalized experience. And almost 60% of them in the last year, they decided to churn due to the poor experience. But the good part is that 96% of the end user would like to have an empathic interaction, and they are also willing, the 74%, to upsell, so to buy more, if there is a good and positive experience. So any company is investing in the customer support to survey the service and to promote also new service to deploy. So this is a necessary cost, but at the same time, there is no satisfaction on the other side. And the market is huge, 80 billion globally. As usual, where there is the pain, there is also opportunity. Generative AI is opening up a new opportunity. empathic experience and contextual experience are required. And then there is also the need of voice-enabled service. In this context, EO is representing the innovative solution. So EO is a customer experience management platform for several stakeholders: marketing, sales, and customer care, including operation, of course. It is built upon three key elements. The first is the proprietary conversational engine. Proprietary and patented. We can manage conversation thanks to our human-like interaction, and thanks also to the fact that we can run and manage the intent, the contextuality of the conversation. We are also integrating human and voice emotion recognition. The second element is the business knowledge. Thanks to the integration of generative AI, we can manage both ingestion of data and documents, as well as creation in output of, again, report, document, and other important material toward the corporate. Last but not least is the analytics and reporting capability. We can manage in real-time conversation and run still in live analysis and emotion classification. We want to strengthen the customer engagement, listen to the customer across different channels, understand what the customer really want. Based also on their behavior, we can also predict, provide the right info at the right moment, and again, learn. Every time there is a conversation, we can learn and improve ourselves. You can fit in any company process, so very easily in any IT also process. We do have three products. EO Connect. EO Connect is a virtual, team that is managing all the inbound, activity, task, and request, customer support, FAQ, even smart assistant, or even personal care agent. The second is EO Engage. Imagine the same, so a virtual team that can manage all the outbound capability and tasks, commercial proposal, survey, train information, and again, providing smart assistant. And last but not least, EO Insight, providing, other than the real-time call analysis and emotion classification, also the capability to provide and create new products, marketing campaign, sales offer, manuals, and predictive analytics. As I already said, the market is huge. All in all is 80 billion, 44 just for the intelligent virtual assistant, plus 24 more or less for the customer experience. We are working in several use cases, starting from the utility, banking, insurance. We are starting the deploying of the first POC in the fintech world, but laterally we are also talking with healthcare and travel and hospitality that are very interested in starting POC very soon. Our business model is pretty simple and is a SaaS-based, so we can run on cloud or even on-prem. We do have a model that can be recurring or not recurring or even pay-per-use. Our distribution model is direct or indirect through partner and integrator. And then we can provide, of course, also professional service for integration or even for customization of additional analytics or conversational design. So I really do hope that you can find my startup really appealing and interesting, and I'm here for any kind of additional question or comment that you may have. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, Pasquale. I mean, this is pretty much on time, 0000. It's been excellent in terms of timing, but also in terms of explanation. I leave everything to Tunya.
Pascal, thank you so much for the presentation. My first two questions are about the expansion plan, especially from the business development perspective. What's the strategy? How is the strategy to expand the partner and integrated network? And the second question is, how did the pricing strategy evolve in terms of the usage-based pricing? Thank you.
Okay, thanks for your question. So the first question is, we are discussing and talking with the big corporates that are multinational. So our, let me say, go-to-market strategy is to start from Italy, since we are based in Milano, Italy, and then expand immediately outside Italy. This is the first. The second is exactly that is a combination of your second question. we are also discussing, and we do have several partners with which we are working on that can integrate us as a reseller or even integrator, and so we can expand and start deployment even outside Italy directly. So we are flexible because we must be flexible, and so we want to, let me say, follow the market needs, also using our partner and ecosystem.
Thank you. And within the scope of the product, how is the latency? Can you give the analytics real time?
Latency, what do you mean exactly? Sorry.
During the analysis of the calls, like how much time does it take for you to give the analytics of the call?
Well, in the live real time, we have less than 1 second, delay in order to provide all the elements that are emotion classification and all the relevant element for the speaker. So we are pretty fast, and this is thanks to our proprietary and patented conversational engine that we are using. So we are quite fast in this, if this was the question.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
One for me, Pasquale. In terms of team, I think you don't have so much time to talk about who is working with you. If you want to talk a bit more, if you have any co-founder, and also if the whole IP is yours.
Yeah. So this startup has born within Venture Studio, Full Farm Venture Studio. That is one of the bigger, venture studio here in Italy that is expanding also to Europe. So today we are almost 30 people that are working for my startup. Of course, mainly of them are R&D team, because deep tech, artificial intelligence, neural network, etc., are requiring a huge effort and engineers, so data scientists, etc. But at the same time, I can count also on the sales, marketing, and product guys. As soon as we will be, kick off in the fundraising, the seed fundraising, we will start to hire our own team, and then we will make the sort of, technology transfer toward the startup. But at the same time, the venture builder will keep a quite substantial equity into the startup in order to ensure also the future growth and stability of the startup as well.
Thank you, Pasquale. Please stay there, don't go, because in the end we are all back together.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, and thank you so much, Tunya. But please, you stay because you had a lot of job to do today. So we moved to Simao Manuel, founder of ATACH, headquartered in Netherlands, not Baron. Esport technology pre-seed around 100K in euros. How's it going, Simao?
Hello, everyone.
Thank you so much for coming. You some noisy on the microphone. Maybe you can fix it. And unmute, and we go.
It's better.
Nice, perfect. Simao, if you want to give a short introduction to yourself, and after, please go straight to pitch.
Yeah, of course. So, hello everyone. My name is Simao Manuel. I am a Portuguese guy studying in Lisbon in material engineering, doing a master's, and then I had a proposal to the Netherlands, and then since then 2 years. I'm now creating my first company and my products. A model surfboards, and I'm trying to get my shot here to get investors. So let's move on. So I created ATACH. ATACH is a company based on solutions for mobility. Our first product is a model surfboard that excels the experience of the user and avoid costs on any type of transportation. I have this idea because I used to travel a lot, and my boards were already damaged. So I kind of searched for a new solution, and then I came with this idea. So The surf market is quite big. I mean, we're talking about 50 million people, 50 million surfers around the world. And then they need to travel, even by car or feet. Mostly are located in cities. That's not the most easy thing to put a board on it. And even though the boards are not for every wave or every condition, so we got have more for us to experience more things. So my boards, it's a model board in 3 pieces or more. It's easy to assemble based on my designs. It's sustainable due to its process, and it's very versatile because you can switch parts on each model, and you can have another board instead of buying other boards. So in terms of economics, it's huge. Our business model are based on direct to consumer for now. Also e-commerce. Compared to other boards, our board it's excellent. I mean, you got the mobility, and the other features are basically the same. It's a cheaper board because we want to go to markets with a huge impact. For now, we are now trying to do a crowdfunding campaign to reach €500,000 on the first year. The cost of the production of the boards, it's around 125, can be lower with max productions, and we have a huge EBITDA margin. These are the projections for the 3 years. So right now we are just having these boards, I mean, with several models, and then there will be a subscription plan for who those want to excel the experience and receive more models and experiment other designs. And then we want to go to other markets like skateboarding, skiing, even snowboarding. So new products are coming. So this is me in my home in Portugal. This is like the current all the models I did before I went to this one, the actual one, the final prototype, and then the final product will be available in a few months, around 1 or 2 months. So for now, we are seeking investments just to cover production, the marketing, and the campaign, and also the patent. It's patent pending already in several countries, and we are waiting for the process to be accomplished. So thank you so much. I'll answer your questions now.
Thank you so much, Simao. We were very close to some and have been a big lover of windsurf, not surfing, but we are not that far away. Tunya, if you want to address, please, any question for Simao?
Thank you so much for the presentation, Simao. I'm actually particularly curious about how big the market is, and what's the background of that story? How did you, get into that pain point?
Right. So, I mean, the market's huge. I mean, right now, only are registered 50 million surfers around the world. I mean, the number is increasing 5% each year because of the wave pools and the people that really like it, because surfing is very addictive. And for numbers, the revenue, the sales of the surf market is around 70 billion euros per year, around 2022, and then now it's Olympic sports. It's going to increase a lot more. So basically, I mean, I'm a surfer. I travel a lot, and I kind of have these issues because every time I went to, for example, Bali or Maldives, my boards were damaged because all the procedure on the airports, and so I mean, I was sick because I damaged a lot of boards. I'm not kidding. So I came to this solution. To a modern surfboards. It's not a new one, but the concept in general to switch parts and the joints are pretty unique and innovative, and that's the why I invented it.
All right, and one more question though. So you have been building this since 2019, right? Am I correct? Yes. So over the past 3-4 years, in terms of traction, how did it have a progress, or if it had a progress? The traction, the revenue generation.
The first 3 years were tough. I mean, I was working at the same time, so I was developing and designing the models itself. And in 2021, I came to the final one because of the joints are the most important thing around here because of the forces that are applied to. And then I knew that I needed a team, so I hired 2 people, and they are working on it. They are more on the marketing side and the strategy, business side. And right now we are now tracking or going for a crowdfunding campaign in around 3 months. I mean, I hope this summer we can launch. So right now we are dealing with a lot of stuff like structure of the business. And for the next week or 2, we are going to start the manufacturing of the first series.
All right. I guess that's it from my side. Thank you so much, Simao.
No, thank you so much, Simao. Please don't go. Stay there, right? We are all back soon. As I'm moving to our third founder, so Rosaline Agiamoh, Chief Marketing Officer of Epass, Dover, Delaware, USA. Background check, seed around 5.5 million in USD. How's it going, Rosaline?
All good. Thank you.
Thank you for coming. Please,
my pleasure.
If you intro and straight to the point.
Sure. So basically, I'm a management consultant. I have a PhD in economics, and I hold an MBA as well. I work with various startups, basically helping them, nurture them through the process of the business development, business structuring, and organizational management. So basically working with various disruptors in the field, and Epass is one of such disruptors, and I hope that you would actually be part of our story, of our adventure. So let me make a presentation, and please feel free to ask questions at any point. So we're basically a new innovative platform. Nothing like this has been done before. So we're more of a hackathon, as you could say. It's a new idea, not entirely new, but the way we want to structure it is actually new in the marketplace. So we're an online platform of business reputation. We basically are addressing the problem of fraud in the workplace, which comes from employees. Because most employees, even though they go through background checks, they're not entirely screened because there are some challenges with the entire process of a background check. So we know that according to KPMG, over 1 trillion is lost annually, and this is just from the US alone, from companies due to employee fraud. 95% have experienced more than one case of employee theft, and over 75% of employees have actually admitted to stealing from their employees at least once. If you've been following the news as well, there's been a lot of cases of theft in major retail stores across the US, such as Target, Walmart, and so on. So we're basically trying to address this problem by creating a preventative measure. So Epass is an electronic passport per se, which allows a company that is hiring an employee to have a holistic view of the candidate during the employment process. Right now, there are no tools that have this sort of aggregator view, and we're trying to bring that to the market. So for now, what we have is employees provide their own CVs. They can basically exaggerate on the CVs, where they've worked, what they've done, even who to contact in previous companies, for instance, if they've had problems. And a new company, a new HR manager may not know this detail. So if they call the number that is provided or the email, and then they get a good review, but they don't know the underlying truths about the individual. So we're trying to provide a verified system that is backed by various systems. Our algorithm basically connects to the blockchain, which makes sure that if data is entered and verified, it cannot be altered. So basically, it's an electronic passport that is tied to that individual. For instance, there are such live situations in Eastern Europe where individuals carry their work card. And so we're basically making this in an electronic form. Right now, this is basically viewed as a platform of, we're calling it digital karma, because if you have a bad reputation, it follows you. So, you're not able to defraud new companies. Let's say banks who are willing to give loans review this information and are more cautious. Maybe you would be given the loan, but at a higher rate. And so all this basically stems from the fact that we're trying to reduce fraud in the workplace as a deterrent so that people do not commit fraud. We're seeing that checks and balances are the best way to basically combat this in the workplace. In terms of the system, so if you could see the blue highlights above is how Epass integrates with various sectors. Housing, such as Airbnb, for instance, can know straight up if the individual they're trying to onboard is a squatter or not. So landlords can be aware. The banking system, as I mentioned previously, employers, transport companies, and so on. So it basically provides a holistic solution. So we integrate quite nicely both with the fintech space, with blockchain, and with other key industries. And also wanting to mention here that our target market is the US because of the regulations, which basically makes it compulsory for about 40% of the industries to carry out background checks. And these are in industries such as healthcare, child and safety, education for kids, general education, and also we're looking at banking. So the AML processes, KYC processes, we're hoping to integrate with that sector as well. In the US alone, annually, there are about 4 million students that graduate. We're hoping to target that market as the new entrants and then help them so that they build their career on the system as well. So call it maybe a LinkedIn, a verified LinkedIn that could help HR managers to basically integrate with the greater community. So moving on, these are our target markets and the numbers. So we can see the total addressable market, the serviceable obtainable market, and then the compound annual growth rates as well. We're looking at 4.6. Has an annual growth rate, and we think this would scale up quite quickly because this is a new product that's been introduced, and there are a lot of sectors that are going to key in to the system. So these are the market challenges, basically, as we've discussed. Hiring processes are basically too expensive for companies. Most companies do not undergo background checks because it's too expensive. Maybe they're a small team, but with our system, basically it helps them because they can leverage on our reputation scoring. Also, most companies are afraid of data leaks. This is the most common form of fraud. Also, some companies don't have a fast solution for screening. It often takes between 2 to 4 weeks to even get a background check from a university. Meanwhile, on our system, we're only going to have verified candidates. We're seeking to partner with universities and alumni associations. So immediately you go into our system, you already have verified candidates that you can, fill your starter positions with. And also, SaaS costs are quite high for some companies. So for various software that helps with fraud and compliance checks, it could be too expensive for, let's say, mid-sized companies.
We have, let's say, half a minute, and after we need to go.
Sure. Okay. So these are our competitors, such as Checker, Deal, Equifax, Capture, but we're not looking at them as competitors, but more like integrators into our system. And we also provide a holistic view to the services. Our revenue model is presented here. We're hoping to scale up between year 2 and 3, so investors can get their full refunds. And this is just the breakdown of where we want to invest. Mostly it's in the team that we're building, then in the product, of course, and other legal and administrative services that we need to plug in because there are very many considerations in terms of data protection and privacy. So this is generally basically the market, how much we're willing to raise compared with other segments as well. And we're hoping that we would get your approval. Our roadmap is also presented, and we can also provide this in detail, in a comprehensive detail, to any interested investors. And thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Rosaline. Actually, my question is, in terms of data residency, for example, in EU, there is GDPR. From an infrastructure and personal data perspective and private data perspective, how did you structure the data ingestion and data storage?
Mm-hmm. So already this is keyed in. So no data is shared without the consent of the user. That's for sure. So just like real time now, when you're going through a background check with a HR manager, for instance, they have to request for your approval to do certain background checks, such as credit checks, drug checks, and so on. So that's keyed into the system. There's an automation, two-factor verification that allows the user has to authenticate before you can access that data. And we're also plugging in the data from third-party sources. So this is also readily available and updated. So for instance, if you hire an employee today, and let's say he's worked in the company for 3 to 6 months and then gets a certificate, maybe for a new accreditation, the HR now uploads this on the system and it's verified. So it already remains has an add-on to the system. So for instance, let's say 3 years down the line, the employee wants to move to another firm. This is already on the system. So it makes it easier for the next company to hire the staff because all the information is already updated in real time. And of course, if they want to get access, they have to request from the candidate himself.
Mm-hmm. And lastly, can you elaborate on the use of funds for the seed round?
Sure. So we're hoping to invest heavily on the team because the data around it, the program needs to integrate with so many other platforms. And so we need to build a large developer team. So most of our investments are going into the team. We're also looking at R&D because it's a continuous process. So we're always going to have beta testing on every stage as we move along. We're hoping to go to market in 6 months. We have a ready product in about 3 months, but we're going to fine tune it. So we're going to be ready to market in 6 months. Hopefully, if we get the funding. If not, it's going to take a bit longer.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much, Rosaline and Tunya. Please
My
stay.
pleasure.
Thank you.
We are all back. A move of fourth founder from London, Adam Hussain, CEO and founder of Innovation for Health, London, of course, UK, health seed round 750 in sterling pound. How's it going, Adam? Please unmute yourself. Hello.
Hi, Max. Are you able to hear me okay now?
Yeah, no, it's completely fine. Let's go.
Okay, great. Yes.
If you want to give an introduction to yourself, Adam, and after we go straight to the pitch, okay?
Yes, sure. Yes. Hi, my name is Adam Hussain, and I'm the founder and CEO of Innovation for Health, Gyrus.cloud. We have developed a technology system that combines clinical, patient, as well as carers data in order to improve the lives of millions of people using big data to action. So Gyrus.cloud is a future workplace innovation improvement app with real-time analytics system to improve the lives of millions of people using AI data science. I would like to sort of draw up the agenda into very simple points so that the message is quite clear of the problem that we're trying to solve and the technology that we are trying to use to solve that particular problem. So at the moment, within the healthcare system, predominantly the frontline healthcare workforce are not really listened to by the management, and that communication gap leads to increased complaints, costing around £60 billion per annum. The net zero sustainability going paperless is also another agenda within the healthcare system in the UK, and they've assigned funds to actually support going digital. The healthcare workforce technologies that are currently being used for communication engagement within the workforce are in direct breach of GDPR regulations, as well as information governance and privacy policy for an enterprise level. Such companies like Facebook and WhatsApp, it has been noted that 300 surveys that the doctors were currently using WhatsApp as a way to manage patient data. So what we have actually worked on is a solution that provides, that connects the entire workforce within a single app. And that then connects to the cloud via the API. The Gyrus app system is completely wireless and going paperless. So 99% of the healthcare workforce are actually using the smartphone. We have recently been verified by Chelsea Westminster Hospital post beta testing the app to Chelsea Westminster and West Middlesex Hospital to merge cultures between the two organizations. It's an award-winning app for healthcare professionals, carers and patients to share ideas to challenges on the ground using our AI-powered, human-centered app system. We have had testimonial from Dr. Hugh Rogers, who I've worked very closely with for the 36 months that this beta testing of this new technology was actually devised. And it was a great success in looking at the case study of reducing the number of complaints and increasing efficiency within the different departmentals sort of outputs and outcomes measurement framework. The team that we have is pretty extensive in looking at different kind of areas of the actual need to deliver the actual project. And that includes myself, who is the Chief Design, Innovation and founder of Gyrus app, as well as Dr. Abdul Kamali. He's also a shareholder and also part of the executive team. He's a trained neurosurgeon and also a GP in London. Sarah Silverton is also part of the exec team. She has extensive experience working within the healthcare service as a quality improvement director for the past sort of 20 years. So to understand the actual market need and how to access that kind of market is where Sarah is actually taking the operational sort of lead in order to do that. Muhib Hassan is also our Chief Technology Officer who's got extensive experience in working with Azure Cloud, is Microsoft certified, as well as working with HSBC and enterprise companies such as Asana. The market that we're looking at within the enterprise health market space is actually growing at a constant level, which is at 50 billion at the moment. And that's not even globally, that's just within Europe. The serviceable, attainable market that we have is around 10 billion. but the serviceable attainable market that we want to reach, which is by reaching Jaros to 1,000 hospitals and healthcare places within a span of 5 to 7 years, will give us a reach of 1 billion. Hence, that's actually quite direct to the actual attainable market that we have reached to. Our direct competitors within that kind of space are companies like Happy App, which is just sort of listing into action, which is paper-based, and as well as Improve Well, which is another kind of app system that sort of has that same kind of competition space. Our indirect competitors are Asana, Slack, and Qualtrics, which are more into diving into deep data of different kind of data sets within the healthcare, sort of which it provides. Where we are different is we're actually plug and play service, so it's easy to onboard your entire workforce within a span of a couple of minutes. It's real-time data to action, so it's uploaded within 30 seconds from any location at any given time. Our traction is something that we can actually build up to 700k MMR year on year, 30% growth by licensing the app, 30 apps per year. Our revenue model is actually very low cost, high impact, as we will be cloning the technology across the healthcare marketplace. Our projections for finance should be ending at NPAT on year 3 at 899k, and with a revenue of 3.3 million by year 3. Data of accomplishments: we have licensed the app to Chelsea Westminster Hospital for 36 months, beta tested the MPV, and now are fully licensed to scale the app across the UK and global healthcare sectors. Our funds will be used predominantly 30% on the product development, 30% on the operational team, and another 30% on the actual marketing and sales. We have very unique features within the app that we would like to share within the kind of appendix framework at a later stage or taking the Q&A. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Adam. Tunya, unfortunately, we don't have a clear image, but don't worry because the voice comes very clear, so it's okay. Tunya, if you want, please.
Okay, thank you, Adam, for the presentation. Can you please elaborate on your expansion plans?
So we've recently spent 36 months in testing out the actual app system because it's pure innovation within Chelsea Westminster Hospital. Now we are NHS and IGK verified, which means now we can scale the license and the technology to another 100 hospitals over the next 3 years. So by 2025, we want to reach another 100 hospitals in the UK first, and then scale out to different countries across the world.
And my second question is, can you explain the initial pain point and initial product market fit that you've found?
Yeah, so the healthcare workforce comprises of 1.6 million, and that care is provided by sort of the workforce every 24 hours to 1 million patients. And the voice of the actual workforce from the front line in order to reach management, that communication risk gap leads to a mortality rate which is increased and also costs around £80 billion per year in clinical negligence claims. So the app, the intention and the actual technology was designed to see how we can elaborate and make an inclusive workforce by creating an environment of innovation and learning from the healthcare workforce front line, who are seldom and hard to reach in different locations, working across the clock at different hours of the day.
All right. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Thank you, Adam. Please don't go, stay. We are very close to close up each event. All of us will be back. Thank you, Tunya. I'll move to our fifth founder, of course, not the least, which is Daniela de Sa, founder of Najha, New Jersey, USA, fashion, seed round, USD 1 million. How's it going, Daniela?
Okay.
Unmute.
Listen to me. Yeah. Okay, everything very well, and thank you for this opportunity.
Thanks to you for coming. Please, as all other funders, if you want to give an intro to yourself, and after straight to the point.
Okay, so good afternoon all. Thank you, EquityMatch, for this opportunity. Hello for Max, Tunia, and all other fellow funders. I am Daniela de Sa. I came from a family related with the shoe business. We are shoemakers since my grandfather, and working in the family business, I work with brands like Gucci, Versace, and all high fashion brands. There, I learned about the high standards for fashion, luxury fashion standards. Alongside with that, I realized that I had to create a brand called Najha Fashion, and I create a brand putting together this knowledge for the luxury fashion with the sustainable materials. And was in that point that you realized how much the fashion industry is polluting the planet. The water waste, the carbon emissions, the chemicals for dyeing the fabrics, and mainly the waste of the fashion industry, pre-consumer and post-consumer. The market is asking for solutions, and definitely the ethical fashion market is growing 10% per year. So putting together with the knowledge from the family, I create the brands with organic fibers, sea-cell, cork, fabric upcycled from marine litter, and many other sustainable materials. And we have a huge advantage because as we are so close with the supply chain, we are able to have a strong R&D developments. At this moment, we are creating soles from hospital waste, dye our fabrics with the bacteria. Our paper is made from recycled fabrics powder, and we are able to create a method to recycled polyester, mixed polyesters. To our developments, we use sustainable design, we use biometric to create high-tech fabrics, and we have our own method of circular economy. The market, it's huge. It's more than 600 billion. The sustainable market is valuated in almost 7 billion, and we are aiming to get 200 million by 2030 for the Najha market share. Very important milestones. We were invited to belong to be part of the Excellence Brands Association, which at this point of the brand put us side by side with brands like Louis Vuitton. We are invited for New York Fashion Week, Paris Fashion Week. Today we were invited to have the brand in a store in Paris, and we have an award for the Sustainable Awards for the shoes category. So about the competition, we have some. The main thing is that we are focused on the luxury market. We have the R&D very strong, very close to our supply chain, and we are able to always create new materials, and we have our own method of circular economy. Business model. Very important for us to have a strong online presence at this moment, for bring brand awareness to the market, to let the brand be known, because at this moment we are small, we have all the knowledge, we have all the products already created, but we need to be known in the market. This is our focus, and alongside with the strong online presence, with offline presence, our focus are markets like United States, North Europe, Japan, and Middle East. Middle East because they have a huge request of organic products, and definitely we are also an halal product. So also having key partnerships. Our direct margins for online presence are between 300 to 500%, and for offline sales is between 50 to 100 of sales of margin. So we are offering 20% for 1 million. The investment distribution is focused on marketing and creative departments, as I said, to bring brand awareness, online presence, to grow our collections and have a stronger creative department and also sales team, and make the sales grow everywhere, and also to reach the goal of by 2030 of 200 million. This is our team. Alongside with team, we are 7. We have a huge team of suppliers that work with us, the new materials, the new products, and we are definitely an expertise team that have a big knowledge about the fashion industry. These are my contacts, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Daniela. So, perfect time. Tunya, please.
Daniela, thank you so much for the presentation. In terms of onboarding the partners, the suppliers and the consumers to the platform, can you please elaborate on the go-to-market strategies for each a little bit more?
Okay, yes. So we are aiming to improve the website and also improve the social media to give the brand awareness to the online market, and of course to push those interesting people that want to know more about the brand to go to our website and buy online. We also have other platforms that want the product in their platforms, and which we are aiming to have contracts with. About the offline, in the markets that I told about, we are looking for representatives or agents. So the sellers that work the markets. For example, in USA, there are different areas, and we can have different representatives in each area. So this is about the offline. We are thinking about this strategy, and of course give all the information about the brand, about sustainable materials, for them also have the tools to work with their own clients. Was clear, Tunya?
Yes, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And also, can you elaborate on the expansion plans, and which markets do you see the closest fit for the next step?
If you asked me that question 2 days ago or 3 days ago, I will tell you USA and North Europe. But I was in a webinar about the Middle East market, and definitely I changed my idea about that, and the USA and Middle East, because in the Middle East the halal products and the organic products are highly requested. And actually, I started to talk with a possible person to represent the brand there, and these are like USA, Middle East, Europe, and Japan. This is organized by I think by importance. Let's say like that.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniela. Stay, don't go, because right now we are bringing everyone back as we close. We normally close always in the same way. So I'm going to ask you, first of all, what is behind your startup? Any founder has a story. Actually, in EquityMatch, we launched in a week time, the 1st of June, the life of a founder, where we invite all founders to talk with me 60 minutes about their life. But we are not there today. Anyway, everyone wants to apply. You can go to our website and you find a way how to apply. Now, let me start with you, Adam. First of all, what is behind your idea? I mean, in terms of personal, and what motivates you? And also, why investing? If you must convince Tunya, how and why should invest in your startup?
Yeah, so I'd like to just start off with the intent. The intent of actually solving that problem is something that I have personally experienced within the healthcare service after my personal injury. And that was something that I spent around 21 days within the hospital space talking to frontline staff as well as patients across sort of different ways to see how we can actually collect real-time data, information, feedback, and then use that data to actually act and change the way things operate and how technology can play a part in this. In 2010, I started up my CIC company, and that was a creative agency. That was until 2017, which then moved up to Innovation for Health. And prior to that, I won 2 national NHS England awards for big data science innovation, which then led me to actually stay within the healthcare service sector in order to actually be a provider to improve the lives of millions of people using big data science and analytics. Because as we understand, a doctor can save a number of lives, but research using technology can actually save millions of lives, because it's how we capture that data, how we mine that data, and then how we actually act on that data to improve any kind of changes that happen, which is on a very micro level or on a very macro level. That could be within the workspace or in the wider kind of specialist collaborators that are involved within that kind of remit.
Thank you so much, Adam. I'm moving to Pasquale. What's your motivation and why investing?
Well, yeah, thanks for the question. First of all, my motivation, the idea started to give a new role of the voice. More and more we are using the voice in order to get access to the services and do whatever we need for research, asking, etc. At the same time, we want also to change completely the way to access the services and to provide from the other side the customer experience that today is not working at all, right? And the majority of the corporate are investing billions of dollars in order to improve or to enhance their customer expectation, customer experience, but they are almost failing for similar reasons, of course. So investing in our startup means becoming part of an innovative company with a quite unique, value proposition, and that is addressing a quite huge and growing market. So absolutely interesting. And we believe that with the right investment that we are looking for, we can, of course, accelerate our path, our growth, expand also our market presence, and in the end, we will be delivering substantial return.
Thank you so much, Pasquale.
Well,
I hope, guys, you are convincing, Tunya. Rosaline, what's your motivation and why investing?
We actually were working on a project, and it took so long to get most of our staff verified that we actually looked into the industry and saw that there was this very huge challenge. And sorry for the background noise.
No, absolutely, we
yeah.
like it.
So and basically this is the future. It's gonna come to this either way, and we just feel that we can be the first to market, and basically that's why you should invest in us, because it's gonna come, and we hope basically to be the first disruptors in this industry, because if you look at the US market, you really need such a service, because it's really chaotic. Individuals, let's say, who have over 15 years experience, if they're trying to get a new job, the only way for them to actually get a verified history of their employment is to go through their tax returns. And for one page, that costs about $140. So it's very expensive, it's time consuming, and Epass is just the future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rosaline. I think Simao is not with us anymore because I can't see him. Probably some issue with the connection, but that's the beauty to go live online and live. But anyway, Daniela, I think you are the one who's going to close today. So please, if you want to give a strong motivation, but you have family back experience, we know pretty much why, and also why investing.
So for this, Max, I have to write my 5 points, and because I wrote them because I didn't want to miss anything and end the event and go and say, oh, I forgot to say this and they said this. So I wrote them. I'm going to read to you. So, Tunia, you will invest in a family brand with generational heritage, which is the main basis for all iconic brands. You will be investing in the next high fashion brand, in the first brand of the next generation of brands, definitely a market reference. You will be investing in the future of the fashion industry and making the difference for people and the planet. You will be selling to generations from X, Millennials, Z, and Alpha, taking care of their future and creating their new fashion desires. And definitely, you will be investing in a committed founder, because I'm not talking about only a business, I'm talking about a family heritage and a family honor. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniela. Unfortunately, we are right at the end. Today, we've done 2 events, one this morning for me and based in Asia, and this afternoon with you guys. I'm very, oh, voila. Simao, I was actually closing, but because you're here, please give us your motivation and why investing your startup. I'm mute.
Sorry.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I kind of start this company or this idea, I think, because I have a problem. And I kind of solve it because there wasn't anything on the market, and Simao products weren't that excitement because of the design, because of the price was very high, and I kind of discover for myself, and I thought, why? I think people will pay for this. I mean, it's cheaper than the others. The concept is cooler. It's more versatile, and then I started, and I'm doing it.
Thank you so much, Simao. With 1 hour and 2 minutes, unfortunately, I had to close. Thank you, Simao, Rosaline, Adam, Pasquale, and Daniela. Thank you so much to Tony as well to spend your time with us today, making so brilliant questions to our founders. I do hope some of you convince you can put some money and invest in their startup. And to all our audience, thank you again for spending our time. We all our pitch events, you can find all of them, 47 up today in our YouTube channel. And you will see also the interview to founders. We have more than almost 400 videos. And all the best to you guys. And I hope to see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Bye.